and welcome to Cooking with Sandy, or as my husband Dave Dennis would say, Cooking with Sandra D. Not the actress, just little old me. And tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cooking zucchini. 3 different ways to make zucchini. So all you vegans out there that don't like meat, you're going to love tonight's cooking lesson. With me is Helen Rigo, my husband Dave Dennis. They're going to be assisting me in our cooking lesson tonight. And the first thing we're going to make is a stuffed zucchini. Helen? Yep. The ingredients for the stuffed zucchini is a green zucchini, a whole one. Dave? You cut that zucchini in half. And then what you do is you get stuffing. I use stovetop stuffing, already pre-made. And then we add to it charisse, ground hamburger, ground pork, veal, whatever meat preference you might have. And you mix it all up, but before we start, everybody, what's our rules? Gloves, gloves, gloves. We never, ever work without gloves.
Except me. Sorry.
Even pre-coronavirus, we've always wore gloves when we cook, right, Helen? Yep. When we're doing a party. Especially meats and some of your vegetables, it gets all over your fingers. So one rule of cooking is always wear your gloves. I also wear this little tie back on my glasses because if you've got loose glasses and you're bending, they tend to fall down. So as Helen's doing, you just mix your charisse or your meat with your stuffing. Meat's optional if you don't want meat in there. You carve your zucchini out like Dave's doing. And you make it like a little boat so that when you're ready, you just stuff it and your boat is like this. So you have a little gully in there. Dave, the other one. And then what we'll do is we'll get those boats. We'll get a pan. And I spray my pan with olive oil spray. Then I place my stuffing in one of the boats, like this. Very, very simple. This is a very, very simple, easy recipe. It goes a long way. You place your zucchini in the boat. You place it in your pan. And if this is all you want with your zucchini, it'll feed an entire family with one large zucchini. Then what I do is I get a little bit of pepper, and we season it with pepper. I use a little bit of salt. And then, of course, I love garlic powder. As you can see, I buy it by the big container. Because in my family, everything's better with garlic. Then I just drizzle a little bit of olive oil on there. You can do extra virgin olive oil. You can do a light olive oil. This tends to be a light olive oil. And then basically you can cover it with some foil. And then you put it in the oven to bake. And then your end product is a delicious stuffed zucchini. And you're ready to eat it. Helen, we can plate this zucchini.
You noticed how fast that cooked? It took about 30 seconds.
No, Dave bought me this super duper baking oven, a double oven.
It's the magic of TV.
And it cooks in the matter of seconds. So then you have your stuffed zucchini, which we will be eating later. We'll put it there for now. Helen, you can put that in the sink. And then next up, what we're going to do is we're going to make a zucchini and tomato with basil soup. It is absolutely delicious. So what Dave's going to do is he's going to get the rest of that zucchini that we had. He's going to cut that in half again. And he's going to just dice that up.
This is a dice with it.
Yep. just
Skin on?
dice it right up with the skin on it. The skin is good for you.
Oh, we got this in small pieces.
And then when he dices it, it's going to look like pieces like this. Just thin, sliced, diced pieces of zucchini. And then what I do, I've learned a little trick so that you can keep your stove clean, is I do a lot of cooking in the microwave. Prep work, really, not fully cooking. And then you put it in a, what we call a ricotta or a yogurt container. I'm sure everybody saves their containers at home. You put it in here. You add a little bit of coarse olive oil to this.
2 key ingredients, olive oil and garlic.
Yes, and then you dice up, and Dave will show us, you dice up some onions. And then once you dice the onions, you put that in your ricotta container as well. And then once he does that, that's good, Dave. He'll put those diced onions right in here. Perfect.
Want to put the rest in?
Yeah. That's good. And then what we do is we put this in the microwave for, I would say, 4 to 6 minutes, depending upon how long it takes your microwave to cook. Of course, Dave buys me these super appliances, so my microwave cooks quickly. So we'll put that in the microwave. Do not put the cover on tight or you'll have an explosion. So we put it on for 6 minutes. So while that's all cooking up, what we're going to do next is Dave's going to slice the remaining portion of that zucchini, and we're going to make a zucchini parmesan. And I'm sure everyone loves that. So Dave's going to cut the rest of that zucchini in slices like this. And then Helen, we're going to mix up an egg. We're going to scramble an egg. And once that egg is scrambled, we're going to put some Italian flavored breadcrumbs on a piece of parchment paper. If you don't have parchment paper, you can use a paper towel, you can use aluminum foil, you can use a dish if you have one. And then what you'll do is you will, and Helen, you can dip each one of these zucchini slices in the egg, place it on the breadcrumb, and then you turn it over until all your zucchini's covered. Then what we'll do is you get a fry pan and some oil. I tend to use a lot of vegetable oil. You put it in your pan, your fry pan, and put enough so that it doesn't dry up. You put that on a high heat for now to start. And you heat up that oil so it's nice and hot. And you put them on the side here. Once they're breaded, put them on the other side of your parchment paper until your oil is hot enough to deep fry these zucchini slices. And that oil's getting nice and hot, as you can see. You can see it kind of bubbling over here. The zucchini's in the microwave cooking with the onions. And as soon as that's ready, we'll get that going. But in the meantime, for your zucchini soup, you're going to need olive oil, your cooked zucchini, and your cooked onion. And we'll get to that portion next. Now, you'll get each one of these breaded, egged and breaded cutlet slices and put them in your oil. And you'll see they're sizzling up really nicely in here. I I would recommend a large frying pan so that you can cook more at one time. This pan fits 3 at a time. And we need a little bit more breadcrumbs. You'll find that any kind of a Parmesan, whether you're making chicklet cutlet Parmesan, veal Parmesan, eggplant Parmesan, you use a lot of breadcrumbs. The egg really absorbs all that breadcrumbs into it, so you use a lot of it. We have tongs, one of Dave's favorite pieces of kitchenware.
I do like tongs.
And he can work the zucchini because he loves working the zucchini part of it, and he loves using his tongs.
Not to be confused with tongue.
That's right. Tong is different. Helen, this can go in the sink. We want to keep a clean prep area, so as you're finishing everything, bring it to your sink and keep it clean and washed in a cloth you can put there. We can wash that. And you see, Dave, when those are becoming nice and toasty and brown, Dave will turn them. And then what happens is, once those zucchini are cooked, we're going to prepare them with the tomato sauce, and we always make our homemade tomato sauce, and whatever cheese preference you have. We have American and provolone cheese tonight, and we'll get that out. We'll use some nice chopped provolone cheese for our Parmesan, and basically, or you can just use grated cheese. So basically, Helen's going to very lightly put some sauce on the bottom of this pan. That's good. She's going to swirl that sauce around.